Greetings, MFL Year 33 members, once again. Had a little layoff there, but we are now current on round 2, phase 3. So we are down to simply current owners deciding if they are going to match or not match final rebids on round 2. I have already made my decision as far as what I'm going to do on my player, but I haven't really released that to anybody yet. I'll send it to a neutral source for the timestamp or whatever, but I've already pretty much made my decision on what I'm going to do, but I think I have to wait until other decisions are made before I can release that. I'm not sure. I've talked to the one person who's involved in it. We'll figure it out. But anyway, just reviewing this document. Number one, I posted it as a document on the chat, but then I also just posted it as a chat message. I've got at least one person who's having trouble seeing the Google Docs, and so it doesn't have to be a document. I just was thought I was making things easier, and apparently for at least one person, it was making things more difficult. So more information is better than none, I guess, right? So we'll do Google Doc, we'll do chat, we'll do video. We'll cover all the bases, that's for sure. We are going to wrap up phase 4 of round 2 bidding, hopefully today. And again, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm a little out of pocket, so we're going to pause. Then we're going to do round 3. I've already had people talking to me about keepers. We're not quite at the keeper stage yet. We got one more round, actually. We expanded rosters last year. We've got the Superflex thing going, so we kind of need more silent bidding. Last year it was a 4-2-2. This year we're doing a 3-3-2. So there will be another round of bidding next week. That will not start, of course, until I say I have submitted my bids. And I do intend to bid. I've already got mine kind of lined out and got some ideas on what I'm going to do. So anyway, let us review the chat/Google Doc for phase 3 of round 2. There were 3 players that did not receive a rebid. Khalil Shakur, who I'm sure I'm still misspelling, I haven't looked it up. He was signed for 10 points by Toledo because there was no rebid. Jonnu Smith for 10 points to CDs because there was no rebid. And George Pickens for 55 points to Leavenworth. So those need to be marked as keepers. And by the way, speaking of keepers, you will send me a list of who you're keeping, but it is again on each owner to go into Sleeper and edit their keepers. You've got to go in and hit where it says the little edit button there by your sleepers, and you got to sleepers, and you got to update your keepers. And again, some people having signed players from other teams are going to have an extra spot or two. So I will probably have an individual conversation with every owner prior to that. We also had a moment where somebody cut somebody, and regardless of what Sleeper's telling you on your roster size and stuff, let's just not do anything as far as cutting anyone or trying to add anyone or anything like that. Let's just keep them all the same. What's going to happen is basically once you mark your keepers and that keeper deadline happens, you see the little timer on Sleeper for keepers. It will dump all the players that you don't mark as keepers back into the pool, the player pool, and then those will be available for the live auction. So you don't have to necessarily cut anybody, if that makes sense. But if you cut someone now, it makes it a little weird because, again, if someone was going to bid on that player, you would actually still have the right to match or not match, except for everyone knows you cut them, so they kind of know what you're wanting to do. And I don't know. So kind of like what was said in the chat, it's sort of tipping your hand, and we don't necessarily want to tip our hand quite yet. So chances are pretty good, to be honest, if somebody cut someone, probably not someone that anyone's going to bid on anyway. But anyway, so there's that. Here are the bids now that must be matched or not matched by the current owners. Once we have these decisions, that will conclude round 2. And again, we will not be ready for keepers at that point because we have a round 3 this year. We're going to start that round 3 on Monday, August 18th. And then once that is complete, and it'll be the same format. It'll be bid, match or no match, rebid, match or no match, done. Once that's done, then we'll have a week or so to get our keepers together. So we're definitely, again, as far as time goes, we're in great shape. All right. Hoopton has Jared Goff. And I need to decide if I'm going to match or not match 100 points by Toledo. James Cook is on the Tulsa roster, and he needs to match or not match 70 points by Toledo. And T. Higgins is on the Kansas City roster, and he needs to match or not match 70 points by Toledo. Jalen Hurts, 138 points by the Knights. That will need to be decided upon by West Canaan. Alvin Kamara on the Cleveland roster, 75 points by the Knights. DeAndre Swift on the West Canaan roster, 50 points by Leavenworth. So West Canaan's got a couple of players to decide on there. Army has Justin Fields to decide on for 48 points by Tulsa. Ladd McConkey, Leavenworth, 66 points by Tulsa. Cortland Sutton also on Leavenworth roster, 52 points by CDs. Devon Achan on the Knights, 70 points by San Antonio. Mike Evans on the Toledo roster, 65 points by San Antonio. Zach Charbonnet on the Tulsa roster, 10 points by Cleveland. And Tyler Algier on the San Antonio roster, 10 points by Cleveland. So these are the last decisions that need to be made for round 2. I did have something that came up I wanted to mention, and now I can't remember what it was. Yeah. Bottom line, I think, on this is, regardless of whether or not you know what's going to happen with your bids, in theory, you have already accounted for that money. So you should be able to make your decision on keep or not keep, match or not match, before you know what happens on your bids, if you will. If you have to assume you're going to get the players that you bid on. So if matching a bid puts you over the cap in the event that you get your bids, then you've got to let that player go. That's generally the way that works. You can't really keep knowing that it could potentially put you over the cap, if that makes sense. I always just kind of figured, if you were already accounting for keeping a player, you probably already had a number in mind. And if somebody is exceeding that number, then you've either made allowances for that with your bid amounts or you haven't. And if you haven't, then you kind of have to let them go. So I don't know. Again, maybe I think about it more than other people do, but I'm stoked. I'm having a really good time with this. And of course, again, I seem to have a little more time on my hands these days than I normally would at this point. The job I was working, the kids started school this week, so it would have been a very busy week for me had I still been in the classroom, that's for sure. So anyway, I will be in Tulsa over this weekend, but it's going to be really, really fast and just pretty much a family hangout moment. So if I don't see everybody, then just know that I'm always thinking about you guys and hoping you're doing well. Let me know if you're going to match or not match. I'll send out a final update, hopefully by this evening, on round 2 final results. We'll take a few days off, and then starting Monday, we'll do round 3. As always, text me, email me, shoot me a note on Sleeper, whatever you want to do, if you have any questions. All right. Thanks. Stay safe out there. Bye.